Okay, this will be an interesting one. A little bit challenging, as it often is. I'm really missing a loved one, folks. I'm trying to get in touch with him. His name is Luigi, should I say, but I often use the short form of his name, Luigi. He's a beautiful person that I love, and I'm really missing him. And I'm trying to get my videos to go to air on the television. It's really difficult, really challenging. And you've got COVID-19 rampaging around the world and rampaging to a lesser extent in Australia, especially in New South Wales, and Brisbane's got some English strain of COVID, which really spreads a lot faster than a normal COVID. It's not good. It's not looking too good. Anyway, we're photocopying this top. I'm going to just turn it over because I'm thinking the backside of this would be a lot better. So we've got that there, and we're mainly interested in some of that. But it's really a problem, this COVID-19, and it's not just a disease, it just takes up the time on the news channels, which could otherwise be put towards putting my stuff up there. And it's just proven to be really a challenge trying to get the TV channels interested in what I'm doing here. And it's a challenge. So it's not been a good Christmas holiday. Anyway, that looks interesting. Wonder if we're going to do anything more with it. But it's really a challenge trying to get my stuff out there and recognised. It really is difficult. Thinking we're going to move it further across. But it really is a challenge trying to get this in the face of COVID-19, which is the technical term for coronavirus, or the one that we know. I think they called it 19 because it broke out of Wuhan, China in 2019, or should I say it was discovered in December 2019, hence its name, COVID-19. I'm not an expert on that sort of shit, and that sort of shit just shits me. Wondering if we're going to move it up a bit or move it down. I'm going to move it across a little more. But basically it's really been a tough time dealing with COVID, and basically I'm just going to pull it down a bit. But basically, it's just made it difficult for punters like myself trying to get in the news. I don't want to call myself a punter. I do feel that my stuff will go to air. I'm not doing this for the sake of it, just for fun. I'm not trying to be a joker. I take what I do very seriously. What I do is a serious matter, what I'm doing. Sometimes it looks funny, what I'm doing, but it's not. I think this looks good. I'm wondering where the centre of our job is going to be. We're going to make it there. But I know some of the things I photocopy are kind of strange and odd. Sometimes it looks a bit silly what I'm doing, but I do take my work very seriously as a whole. This is not a joke. I might have said some funny things or tried to be funny, but I'm not really that funny. folks. Sometimes I do have a sense of humour, but I don't show it all the time. The general feeling of what I'm doing is serious. So yeah, I'm going back to work tomorrow. Finally, my holiday period has come to an end, or it will have come to an end, and I'll be back at work once again. Let's see how this looks. I don't know how the workplace is going to play out in the midst of this COVID outbreak that we had, starting with the northern beaches of Sydney, and how everyone's going to work. That'll be an interesting thing to ponder. Anyway, that looks really quite nice. Wondering if I should maybe do a switcheroo. I like to do switcheroos because I keep thinking I might accidentally have missed something that looks even better, but I got a feeling this one's not going to look all that great, but it's worth a try because I get annoyed, I get upset if I don't properly explore some of the work that I do. Often you don't know until you've actually done the switcheroo that you've done something, you've explored all the avenues. Yeah, that looks quite nice. It's not quite as nice, and maybe one more, or maybe two more switcheroos, to be honest, folks. We'll do every one of these. But basically, it's really a challenge trying to get my stuff to go to air on the television in the primetime news slot. It's really a challenge, folks, when you've got COVID-19 rampaging everywhere, and that looks nice. Now we're going to try and see if we can make that the centre of the job. But basically, COVID-19 has really caught the eye of the news. I know we have to know about important things like when the wearing of face masks became mandatory back a week ago I think it was Sunday the 3rd of January. It was deemed mandatory, but they did have a grace period until last Monday when you have to wear one or you face, pardon the pun, an on-the-spot fine of $200. So yeah, things like that have happened. You've got to know about things like that. It's important. If you didn't hear that the masks were mandatory, and you could get fined $200 for not knowing. So you have to know something about COVID. You have to know about it, but you don't have to know everything, every little detail, every little piece of what's happening. Anyway, I think this is the best one of all. I think I'm glad I did the switcheroos. That looks brilliant. I think now we can call it quits.